Okay, so hi everyone. I'm really happy to see you here, and I do believe it will be a really interesting session, and I promise this one will be full of alpha, full of things which will help you to understand what's going on in the tech, what's going on with the industry, what's going on right now with the privacy, and what's going on with the whole Web3 space nowadays. Short introduction regarding myself. I'm co-founder and managing partner at Cryptomeria Capital. We are a global investment fund. We invest a lot in different blockchain crypto projects all the world. We have a huge ecosystem of different projects. And the beauty of that, today I'm going to focus mostly on investor angle, okay? I don't want to focus really a lot on completely deep tech. Today I'm going to fly through this topic mostly from the investor perspective. So in our fund, we have a really big R&D team. We research really a lot, different topics. We dive into details. And if someone of you right now really deep in this industry and deep in Web3, you understand right now there's a huge hype about zero knowledge. There is a huge hype about ZK proofs and so on. So in our fund, we have started to research this topic literally 3 years ago, before we could find these huge ecosystems. And one of the results of this research, we have prepared, and several months ago we have issued probably one of the most complicated report about ZK rollups. ZK rollups is probably one of the key part of zero knowledge landscape. I'm really proud to say this research is probably the biggest and the most complicated one in the industry. So today I just have only one copy of this report, and we'll be really happy to give this copy for some of you if you can ask me a really interesting question about this topic. So let's try to find an answer. What is zero knowledge? The actual concept of zero knowledge has started in the end of the previous century. So it's not something new, okay? In academic fields, different professors, different students, different universities, they have researched it for several years. So the key idea of zero knowledge is, this is the concept of cryptography which allows one party to verify statement from the another party without revealing the actual information under this statement. And this is the beauty of that. It means you can verify anything without an actual access to the information you are going to verify. So there are two key pillars how it could be created. It's a little bit about cryptography, so let's just fly through it really fast. There are two key statements. The first one is ZK snarks, and the second one is ZK starks. There are two different approaches how we can issue these proofs. They are pretty similar, but each of that has its own group of believers, okay? So ZK snarks, it's more common approach, and as soon as you are going to dive deep into this topic, you'll find a lot of companies a lot of projects, they actually use Snarks approach. For example, Scroll, Polygon, ZK, EVM, and some others. ZK Starks, it's more about new vision, how we can generate ZK proofs, okay? And it's created by a company, by a foundation, which is called Starkware. And Starkware founder is actually the person who was the one of creator of the whole zero-knowledge concept. Right now, he's the founder of Starkware, who's going to develop new concept of generating ZK proofs. So, to highlight the key difference, I'll just put two statements. The first one is ZK Starks, they have, let's say, higher quantum resistance. So as soon as we'll be closer to the age of quantum calculations, of quantum computers, ZK Starks could be a right choice because they, according to their nature, they have higher quantum resistance. And on the other hand, ZK Snarks we can identify as something faster, as something smaller, but actually we can scale ZK Starks as well. There are just some examples of different projects. They are going to leverage both technologies, so we'll see who will win, let's say, this competition. And right now, let's move to the core things. So what's going in this industry right now? Actually, zero knowledge is not about, first of all, it's not about Web3, okay? Zero knowledge, it's about transformation on the whole tech we see around us. The most common approach for now, of course, it's about Web3. And actually, it's about the way how we are going to scale Ethereum. So that's why you can find a lot of ZK rollups in these slides. So the key idea of each rollup is actually to make Ethereum cheap, fast, and scalable. So ZK rollups are going to achieve this goal via leveraging ZK proofs. So we don't need to store our data on-chain. We need just store very small, very short piece of information we can call ZK proofs, okay? But on the other hand, we can find a lot of other projects. We can find a lot of projects who are going to create ZK hardware to accelerate hardware transformation. Again, to make it scalable, to make it fast, to make it cheap. We can find a lot of projects who are going to create data availability, who are going to create some use cases leveraging it. And we will see more and more projects in this field. And now I want to focus on exact case, because very honest, in my personal opinion, a lot of guys from the industry, a lot of our partners, zero knowledge is probably one of the most complicated things we can find in our industry, because it's based on a very, very complicated cryptography. So for example, as soon as you want to work with zero knowledge, you need to have a really deep math background to understand the principles, how you can leverage it. So I want to provide several examples of that transformation. And I hope these exact products will help you to understand how our industry is going to leverage it. Because the key question is, what's the idea for the business? What the value for the business? Where actually business starts? So with zero knowledge, we can make scalable a lot of things. For example, we can make scalable and fully decentralized different DEXs. If you dive deep into this topic, you will identify a lot of DEXs we have in our industry, DEXs which use order book. They actually not completely decentralized. Why? Because still they have decentralized self-custody, so there is no centralized custody, but at the same time, matching engine is still centralized. And this is a problem. Why it's still centralized? Because as soon as you put it on-chain, it means everyone in the industry can observe your trading strategy. And this is the problem. It's not secured. But with zero knowledge, we can put everything on-chain. We can put the whole order book on-chain, and your trading strategy will be still private. So zero knowledge in several years will burn a lot of new great projects, a lot of new projects in DeFi, which will be completely decentralized. And this is really great because it means we are going to the new stage of development of the whole Web3 industry, which will be fully decentralized. Moreover, as I started, zero knowledge is definitely not about Web3 only. And I want to provide you several cases how zero knowledge could be leveraged in other industries. And I want to start with gaming. Because gaming is a really interesting industry. Right now, we see a lot of investments which are going to be deployed in this part of tech, in this part of entertainment. But let's focus on two key issues. For example, let's take online games. The problem to make a lot of online games for the end user is it's really expensive. But why it's expensive? Really significant part of cost to develop a game is your infrastructure, is your investments into your data centers. As soon as you are going to make online games, as soon as you are going to be cloud gaming, okay? Because you need to store a lot of user data, and this user data should be available in each second of the game. But with ZK proofs, we can actually store not the whole data to prevent any cheating and to keep gaming process fair. We can store just ZK proofs. We can store just ZK proofs, and it means it will be fair, it will be uncheated, and very cheap and very fast for the end user. To follow up this example with gaming, I want to provide you another example. Let's just imagine in this hall we have a competition. We have, let's say, 50 guilds, 50 crews, and they are going to compete with each other in the puzzle game. Okay? The problem is this hall doesn't have any walls. So it means crew number 1 can see the way how crew number 27 is going to complete this game. They see the strategy they are going to use to make and to fill puzzle game. Okay? And this is the problem, because this actually means cheating. Because anyone can follow your strategy. But with zero knowledge, just imagine you have a lot of walls. Cost of these walls are literally zero. You still have 50 guilds. They compete in a puzzle game, but each of them, they don't see the strategy how another guild is going to compete the game. So the whole game will be completely fair. And this is really awesome. Actually, I want to provide one more example. This example from company, which is a good partner of our fund. I will not reveal this name because still they are in a development stage. But what they are going to do, they are going to transform the whole KYC concept. They are going to transform the whole KYC concept. The problem with KYC nowadays is banks, Uber, Grab, any application, they have an access for too much data. They have an over access to your data as soon as you are going to pass KYC in these applications. Because they have an access to your driver license, utility bills, passport copies, and so on. Why they have an access? Because they do need to verify it's you. they need to check your identity. But with zero knowledge, for these parties, you should not provide actual documents. What you actually need is just to upload your documents in a special application, in a special algorithm, which is going to leverage ZK proofs. And for each document, this algorithm will issue a special ZK proof. And as soon as you need to verify your identity, as soon as you need to pass KYCs in different institutes, you don't need to provide passport anymore. What you need is just to provide an access to zero-knowledge proof, which will actually provide a statement in a way true or false. Is it you or not? And in the backend, algorithm, which is powered by advanced cryptography, will verify it's trust or it's not. I do believe we'll see more and more examples of zero knowledge. And we'll see more and more use cases. Very honest, we are in the very, very beginning stage. In my personal opinion, we can identify the whole idea of the zero knowledge, like we found crypto, like we found Bitcoin, literally 10 years ago, 12 years ago. There are just a few of people who understand the power of this trend, and there is just a small community who understand how to build on top of that. Definitely, it's impossible to explain the whole idea of zero-knowledge concept in 20 minutes. Definitely not. A lot of professors, a lot of developers, they spend several years to get experience to understand how to build on top of that. Just because it requires a lot of fundamentals. But at least I hope you got principles, what it is and how it's going to help business. So in this slide, you can find a QR code. So you can easily scan it and find the full report. If you fly through this full report, I don't promise it will be easy, because this report is around 50 pages, which are full of tech information. But as soon as you do it, definitely you'll have a deep understanding of this industry. And there's some of my contacts. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach me out. And on behalf of our fund, we host a lot of events which are specified on zero knowledge. We invite founders, ecosystems. Our next event will be in Turkey during DevConnect. So if you are around, please feel free to come. Thank you. Actually, I'm not sure if we have any time, but if we have, probably some of you have questions, so feel free to ask. If not, okay, we'll move forward. Okay, looks like audience is shy, so we don't have any questions. Thank you.